There are some champions in this game that when you use them, it feels like cheating because you're just getting free turns, and that's just super powerful. There's a bunch of champions I want to talk about today. Some of them you'll have, some of them you may not have, but at least you'll have the information for when you get them or when you fight against them. Also, let me know in the comments below if you guessed all 3 champions hidden in that thumbnail. Let's get it. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here. How you doing today? I am super pumped about this topic. I could not find any information available on the internet about this topic, and so that's my cue to come on in here and help you and me, because this is super fun. This is like my favorite thing in the game right now, and let me know, please, who did I miss? Did I snub someone super obvious? Okay, and last but not least, I'm really looking for a champion who, like on a passive or at the start of the fight, places increase attack. Does that champion exist? Please let me know, because I've been scouring the raid databases trying to find that champion. I sort of did, and we'll get there. That's one of the champions on the list today. I want to start off the video with some honorable mentions, then we'll get into the meat and potatoes, and stick around till the end because the spiciest pick I'm going to save for last. Okay, so the very first champion I want to talk about is not exactly what I'm talking about here, and that is going to be Arbiter. I am not talking about champions that grant extra turns. That's not what this video is about. Although, when you get an extra turn, it does kind of feel like cheating. It's kind of along the same topic, but that's not really what I'm here to discuss today. The reason why I want to mention Arbiter is because obviously everybody gets her, and then also, if you tune your speeds in your arena teams, you will never get interrupted, and that's just a topic that hasn't gotten discussed for a while, at least for me here on my channel. So for example, if your Arbiter speed is like 300, then you probably need somebody around 250, 260 speed, and you know, depending on your Arbiter speed will depend on what your second fastest champion speed should be. And you should use this idea and concept with your live arena strategy as well, because you want to not get interrupted in live arena either. Granted, it's definitely harder to do that, but it's definitely still feasible. Like, for example, if your draft strategy was like Arbiter, Lysandra, Fina, and Supreme Elhain, plus maybe, you know, a random other person like Armand's, then you would want both your Lysandra and your Arbiter to be in sync. You would want your Armands to be in sync with your Arbiter and Lysandra, and so you don't get your turn skipped. Now that's not exactly what I'm talking about for this video, so let's move on to honorable mention number 2. I am also not talking about passive skills, okay? But Ultimate Death Knight is pretty close because he does what you need him to do without taking a turn. Now, this is free turns, so that's not exactly the same thing, but it's along the same lines. He's so powerful because he doesn't need to do anything to be effective, but really, that's his passive, and I'm not really talking about passives, although some of these are going to be passives, if you catch my drift. The next thing that I want to mention is going to be a part of this, but again, it's an honorable mention, and that is going to be our shield set and our bolster set, which is the current Forge Pass. Again, this is not free turns, but you're getting extra abilities for free. Alright, next up on my honorable mention list is going to be an amazing champion that now is set to make a comeback. I talked about this in my He-Man video, but that is going to be Cardinal. This is very close to what I'm talking about here. When she revives, she boosts their turn meter to max, essentially giving them a free turn. Now, if you have the Faction Unity champion, which is right here, Falmond, he does not allow your skills to be on cooldown. And that was the hardest thing with Cardinal. Now you have Marius, which is kind of like the bane of this strategy. But if you go and you pair your Cardinal with your Falmond and He-Man and then someone else, it is a really, really powerful strategy. Highly recommend. The other champion you could put in there is going to be Siegfried if you have him. Obviously, that's amazing. That's what I do. But you could put Noel in there. You could put another DPS. There's a lot of cool things you could do. Glacea would even be cool in that strategy. Anyway, so that feels like you're getting free turns, okay? And then there are two other honorable mentions. One is an orc, and this orc is going to be Nogdar. On his passive, he revives himself with a full turn meter if he's dead and all other allies are alive. That's hard to pull off, okay? It really is, but it is definitely possible in some Ultimate Death Knight teams. I like putting Sun Wukong in that team, but then it's kind of, sketchy as to whether or not he's going to revive himself or not. He gets a full turn meter. He doesn't go to the max like Cardinal does, but it's almost like getting an extra turn. Okay. And then the last one is going to be Monkey. I think the reason... Nope, he's not a Lizardman. He's a Skinwalker. The reason why Monkey is so good is because he gets 100% turn meter when he's revived. And that feels like a free turn, but it's not quite... It's almost. It's reasonable to include in this conversation, okay? So all of these are amazing champions that you can be using to help yourself on your account. Now let's get into the first champion. And I'm going to include another Skinwalker on this list. One of my favorite champions, actually, is Brackus. And he does not get the love he deserves in this world. On his passive, he revives him when he gets killed, and he gets an extra turn. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is a champion who gets a free turn, and he's revived, so he's not going to have any debuffs on him. So you can build him super slow, super squishy. He's an amazing champion that is just super old school and does not get the love he deserves in this game. I want to start using him more because I really, really love him. I do. And so this is the increase attack champion that I was speaking of. He does place increase attack here on the whole team with his extra turn. And that's sort of what I'm talking about, but not exactly. I want a champion who places increase attack on someone or the whole team at the start of the round, at the start of the fight. That's the abilities that we're going to focus on in this video. Who still uses Brackus? My dude here. Oh, I cannot wait to mess around with him. I got him, and then I haven't had time to mess with him, okay? So, the next champion on the list is going to be the ones that you love to hate. And that is going to be Terrace and Marichka. When you have them in the same team, Terrace is going to counterattack when Marichka's hit. That's a whole turn, right? You get this amazing A2. Marichka, on the other hand, she is going to place block damage. That is a passive, but that is a turn's worth of abilities. And then, of course, she revives your whole team. And when she revives them, they're at 75% turn meter. So maybe they should be in the honorable mention section. You be the judge, okay? Another champion who's very similar to those two is going to be Odin. Whoa, he's a barbarian, huh? Odin from the Barbarians, he places this block damage every 9 turns. That's basically a free turn. Again, he should probably be in the honorable mention section. So let's get on to the first important champion on the list other than Brackus, and that is going to be my dude Hephraak. Where you at, bro? Hephraak is the same style champion as Brackus, where he is going to get an immediate attack whenever somebody on your team is killed. Hey, maybe we could put Brackus and Hephraak together. It'd be a sweet combo. Attacks all enemies, places an extra hit on targets with less than 50% HP. After the first hit, each hit will ignore 15% of the target's defense. And the cool thing is, with this passive, he doesn't have his skills on cooldown. If you go in and you use a Yumiko or a Warlord against him or something, it doesn't matter, he still smacks you. Then when he goes and takes his turn, he has this extra turn and then right back into that. It's not on cooldown unless it's on cooldown, if you know what I mean. And so when you're building your Hephraak, let's see if I have gear on mine. I don't. Let's see if I have a preset. I don't. Good times. So let's say this was his gear here, okay? This would be just like a good example of some gear that you could use on him. 7,700 attack, 288 crit damage. You're going to want him in stone skin though, so you would want to be getting like these two, like the chest and the boots in stone skin in order to be able to make this build work. A 1-turn stone skin is perfectly fine. 2-turn stone skin is better. Again, Marius does disrupt this because he'll just strip that stone skin and then kill you. But Hephraak and Brackus, amazing instant turn champions. Now we have the OG himself, Hegemon. What are we doing here? I don't. Why is it not? What? Interesting. Raid is broken. 1 second, please. Okay, it was just a typo. It was just a typo. So we have a little bit of experience with some Hegemons here. I used to use Hegi in some of my main arena strategies back in the day. I still personally like the stun set approach. But you could go full DPS, similar to what we were just showing over here, something like this, and then maybe we have, no, okay, apparently we don't have gear on him. I do not use this very often, as you might tell, but when you are, if you're going to go into damage, you want to go into damage. You know, you want to build him as crazy as possible with the beastiest stats you can manage, okay? And he is going to have this, always goes first each round. It is going to give him the first turn, and he is going to get that free turn no matter what else is going on in the round. It feels like cheating. It really does. And once in a while, I will bust out my stun set Hegi, who is also in a damage build, I might add, but it's damage with stun. I wish I could get some cruel boots to go with this, but, you know, whatever the case might be. Hegi is the first free turn champion in the game. You know, he always goes first, and that's an amazing ability. There's a couple other champions that I want to talk about here, so let me get those up and bring them on screen. The next free turn champion, I'm going to say, is the Swarm Speaker. Now, other than misclicks in the video here, if you have all Dark Elves, you're going to place block buffs at the start of the round. You're going to get this free turn ability that is going to block all of the stone skin, all of the buffs at the beginning of the round. They're going to start with this debuff. The only caveat is that you have to use all 4 Dark Elves, including a very hard to get Swarm Speaker Zillick. Zysilic? I like Zillick, but that's probably not correct. The Swarm Speaker regardless. And then the other champion is going to be the Faction Unity champion over here, Losan. And Losan has the ability to activate an instant turn whenever he's hit. Now, we need to really talk about the most powerful 2 champions on this list. Don't forget your mystery shards in the mystery shard market. The first most powerful champion on this list is one that I have been absolutely loving in Live Arena, and that is going to be my dude Teox. So much fun. It's just insane how much fun it is. Without further ado, I want to remind and present you with Legate Teox. He has this passive that fills his turn meter by 5% whenever an enemy or ally receives a debuff. And this is my team / draft strategy along with Armand's. And I have been using this to great effect in Live Arena. It's also super fun strategy to watch. Let me show you how it works here. If they are not in Stone Skin, I will get an immediate easy win. We have all of the poisons from Calvalax. Teox gets his free turn, and then they die. And that's how it goes. Also, I like pairing it with Gizmak because that's more debuffs as well and another damage dealer. You do not need Lazarius in here whatsoever. And if you put the Crackling Roots on Teox, you're going to bust right through their Stone Skin with him. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And basically my favorite thing to be doing in any of the arena modes. It is amazing. He does get pretty hard countered by everybody in Stone Skin. He does get hard countered by Marichka. He has a hard time with Marius. There are definitely some counters. Nice is a hard matchup. Sigfriend is a hard matchup. Those mythicals can create some difficult situations. But overall, what a freaking amazing champion and super fun. Again, I know that this is not a champion everyone has, but some people definitely have him. And last but not least, the most spicy pick, the one you've been waiting the whole video for. Where did it go? Right here. My dude, Alil. Anyway, he has a passive now after his buff that fills his turn meter by 10% whenever he receives a buff. So in the first team, you were getting these champions who do things at the start of the fight, Calvalax and Gizmak. That's almost like getting an extra turn as well. I thought about including them on the list, but they're in the team anyway, so we talk about them anyway. Same thing over here with Ailil. In this team, in the first Ailil team, he's getting the Necrit buffs, he's getting the free block damage buffs, he's getting Cardial's buffs, and man, it's just so impressive. I might need to do an actual video on Ailil. Look, I mean, this is not a speed team or anything, right? But this is a free turn at the start of the fight. It's just actually crazy. And then if we put these buffs on him, either one from Cardial, then he will come in and get another turn, okay? He's going to get another turn almost right away. And that's just crazy. We have if you reapply the buffs, he gets more turn meter. I mean, this guy just cycles through turns so quickly. And then you have Odin to help out with some damage. You have Cardial in there as well to help out with the ally attacks. It's crazy. let me show you against like another speed team how incredible this is. And you kind of do have to manual it, but I have multiple versions of this. Really, any team that you want to use that's gonna put buffs up is great. And I will just tell you right now, okay, we got our skills on cooldown, so like this might be kind of bad. Okay, well, he's still alive. Are we just gonna get our... Okay, let me fast forward, hold on. I ended up just backing out. It was taking too long. So I came into another Arbiter fight where you can see him at the beginning of the fight getting all the turns. Right now I have him in very, very accessible gear. It is, you know, nothing crazy, I promise you. It's instinct gear. So this is not something to worry about here. I think we'll ally attack the Mortu. Easy peasy. We will stun them all, and then he can come in here, get another turn, and it's still on cooldown. Okay, well, kill the Arbiter, and then put the buffs up. And, like, I don't have turn meter increased champions in this. It's just a little getting buffs and getting turns. And that's super, super cool. So anyway, I wanted to mention the other version as well, and that is going to be your Arbiter version. So if you run Arbiter there, he's going to get increased attack and way more turn meter fill with the buffs. Then you can use Fina or Lanatharl or whoever you want to pair with him for more buffs. But this is a very accessible team. When he gets that turn meter boost, man, he really gets that boost. And then Fina is going to put all of these buffs on him so that he gets that turn immediately. And it's not like we're running him super fast or anything. And then Lanatharl's in there to just continue and go again. You know, put more buffs, do the ally attacks, all of that stuff. Look at the accessible stats here. 6,500 attack. The crit damage is a little bit high because I do have a 5-star blessing. But he's in instinct. That's it. Just instinct. And then speed on the boots. Like, if you look at these, like, okay, the chest is alright. I mean, there's a lot of crit rate on the gauntlets. But this is not crazy gear or anything of the sort. So, hopefully you thought this video was super awesome cool, and I earned your like button. I hope you become part of the Jedi Academy like button presser club. And, you know, go get your free extra turns and go beat people. I want to put some real gear on Alil, and if you'd like a full guide on him, make sure you let me know in the comments below. Did you get all 3 hidden champions in the thumbnail? Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I'll see you guys in the next one. It's one of my most favorite videos I've made in a long time. Have a great day. See you later.